We grow up believing that money is simple. Study hard, get a good job, save what you can, and eventually, life will sort itself out. That's the script most people inherit without ever questioning it. But somewhere along the way, reality starts to feel different. Bills stack up faster than paychecks. Opportunities seem unevenly distributed, and no matter how hard you work, it can feel like you're running on a treadmill that never stops. This is the story of how money really works, and more importantly, how you can make it work for you. Let's start with a simple truth. Money is not just about numbers. It's about behavior. Two people can earn the same income, live in the same city, and face the same expenses, but end up in completely different financial situations. One builds stability while the other stays stuck in stress. The difference isn't luck. It's how they think, decide, and act. Imagine two paths. On the first path, someone gets their first paycheck and feels a sense of freedom. They celebrate, upgrade their lifestyle, and reward themselves for their hard work. Over time, their expenses quietly rise. A better phone, a nicer apartment, more dining out, more subscriptions. None of these choices feel extreme on their own, but together they create a life where income is always just enough, and sometimes not even that. On the second path, someone else gets the same paycheck, but pauses before spending. They ask a simple question: what does my future need from me today? Instead of upgrading everything at once, they build a small cushion. They save a little, they invest a little, they leave space between what they earn and what they spend. At first, the difference between these two paths is almost invisible, but over time, it becomes massive. This is where most people misunderstand wealth. They think it's about earning more. But income alone doesn't create financial security. If it did, every high earner would be wealthy, and that's clearly not the case. Wealth is what you keep, not what you make. And keeping money requires a system. Think of your financial life like a structure. At the very bottom is your foundation. This includes your emergency fund, your basic budgeting habits, and your ability to control spending. Without a strong foundation, everything else becomes unstable. You might invest, take risks, or chase opportunities, but one unexpected event can bring everything crashing down. An emergency fund may sound boring, but it's one of the most powerful tools you can have. It turns crises into inconveniences. A medical bill, a job loss, or a sudden expense doesn't destroy you. It simply becomes something you handle. That psychological shift alone changes how you experience life. Once your foundation is stable, you move to the next layer, eliminating high-interest debt. Debt is one of the most misunderstood forces in personal finance. Not all debt is equal, but high-interest consumer debt is particularly dangerous. When you're paying 20% or more in interest, your money is working against you. Every payment you make is partially feeding a system that keeps you stuck. There's a strategy often called the Avalanche method. You focus on paying off the debt with the highest interest rate first, while making minimum payments on the rest. Once the highest interest debt is gone, you move to the next. Over time, this creates momentum. What once felt overwhelming becomes manageable, then solvable. After stabilizing your foundation and clearing toxic debt, you reach a point where your money can finally start working for you instead of against you. This is where investing comes in. But investing isn't about gambling or chasing the next big thing. It's about patience, consistency, and understanding how growth actually works. The most powerful force in investing is compound growth. It's the idea that your money earns returns and those returns earn returns, creating a snowball effect over time. At first, it feels slow, almost disappointing. You might invest for months and see only small changes, but over years, and especially decades, the curve starts to bend upward in a way that feels almost unreal. This is why time matters more than timing. People often wait for the perfect moment to invest. They watch markets, read headlines, and try to predict what will happen next. But the truth is, nobody consistently predicts the future. What matters is not when you start, but that you start and that you stay consistent. Even small amounts invested regularly can grow into something meaningful. It's not about making one brilliant decision, it's about making many steady ones. Now, this is where things get more complicated and more dangerous. In the modern financial world, you're constantly surrounded by noise. Social media, news outlets, influencers, and advertisements all compete for your attention. Many of them promise shortcuts, quick wins, easy money, overnight success. It's tempting to chase quick gains, especially when you feel like you're falling behind. But most of what you see, big wins, fast success, is only part of the story. The losses, risks, and failures are usually hidden. Today, speculation is easier than ever, but that doesn't make it safer. Taking risks isn't wrong, but it should be controlled and limited. A smart approach is to keep speculative investments as a small portion of your overall plan, so that even if things go wrong, your financial foundation stays strong. Money decisions are deeply emotional. Fear, comparison, and the pressure to keep up with others can easily lead to poor choices. You might feel behind when you see others spending or succeeding, but you rarely see their full reality. Acting on comparison takes you off your own path. Fear works both ways too. It can push you into bad risks or keep you from investing at all. Since emotions can't be removed, the goal is to build systems that protect you from them. Automation, like regularly saving or investing without thinking about it each time, helps turn good intentions into consistent habits. Over time, consistency creates stability and opens up options for your future. Financial freedom isn't about luxury, it's about control over your time and choices. But reaching that point requires patience. In a fast-paced world, patience feels slow. But in finance, it's a major advantage. Most people struggle not because they lack opportunity, but because they act impulsively and think short-term. The solution is simplicity. Spend less than you earn, build an emergency fund, pay off high-interest debt, invest regularly, limit speculation, and stay patient. These ideas aren't exciting, but they work reliably over time. Finally, money is only a tool. It should support what truly matters to you. Without clear values, chasing money becomes endless and unfulfilling. Real financial well-being comes from aligning your money with your priorities, whether that's security, freedom, family, or personal goals. Your journey isn't a race against others, it's about building something steady and meaningful. There will be mistakes and setbacks, but with a strong foundation, they won't define you. In the end, success comes not from luck or shortcuts, but from doing the basics right, consistently, until your life gradually transforms.